So Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story? How did you find the Academy, and maybe talk a little bit about your journey here as both a teacher, an administrator, and I think most importantly, a dad?
Well, I have been here a long time, and I found this school as a result of growing up in Albuquerque and going to a rival high school. I will leave it at that. I am a Spanish teacher. I love the ability to be in the classroom, especially with younger kids. Opening a door to the world for them through language has always been my passion. Now that I've moved into administration, I get to see them in lots of other contexts as well. And as you mentioned, I'm a dad. I have 3 kids that went through this school. And I have to say that for all 3 of my children, who are all different from one another, the experience was absolutely transformative. They all needed different things when they came to the Academy. They all found those things. And the best part about it is I think they found things here that I'm not sure they knew that they were looking for. In terms of friendships, lifelong relationships, the academics, of course. And now that they've all left the Academy and started to do things in their lives, as a proud parent, I see how well the Academy has prepared them.
What do we do to help bring about a sense of belonging for kids who come from every zip code in the city? What do we do to help make the Academy their own?
Because we know that we're going to have kids from 50 or 60 different schools every year, we know that, from day one, our job is to create community. All of the kids that come to us are academically talented, but it's really not just about coming and taking classes. It's about building an identity, building a community, and it's about building something that is going to last for 7 years while they're here, and then obviously follow them out into the world when they leave the Academy. 6th graders are 9 and 10 years old when they're applying to our school. They're still children, and I think there's something to the idea that they have the ability to grow into this space in an environment that doesn't put a lot of pressure on them. 7th graders often think that they're ready to take on the world, but they're still young as well. And so having 6th and 7th graders together, having them have essentially their own facilities, their own outdoor play spaces, and a dedicated team of teachers, I think helps them build the identity that we've been talking about.
Perhaps you can talk a little bit about families and how we approach advisory with our youngest kids.
We spend a lot of time in intimate little groupings in the middle school, and it starts, of course, with our advisory, which we call families, for a reason. One teacher with 8, 9, 10 students, they spend a lot of time during 6th and 7th grades together, everything from morning check-ins to daily lunches to family time. We call it family time in the afternoons when we get together to talk about how school is going, how relationships are going, sometimes just to play games and hang out and let them know that no matter where they've come from, no matter what their background is, the school belongs to them and that they're all equal partners. What I have noticed about the 6th and 7th grade advisors is they know that they need to leverage that information to build the relationship, to help the kids feel like they have identity as a charger. And the most important thing about being at this school for kids, I think, is that they know that they're seen.
Right. So what are some of the special projects, experiences, programs that are particular to 6-7 that you're really proud of?
We have a special day that we've put together, a block of 3 days for 7th graders, where some of them are camping, some of them are doing a bunch of different projects, community service project, arts and culture projects, environmental and ecological projects that are, again, in small groups that will allow them to be kids just in the world doing things that are outside of the 4 walls of a classroom, but that are also intrinsically important to their learning and their understanding of the world. So, in our 7th grade computer science class, they're not just learning how to code and program and build websites, but they're doing things like podcasting and doing electronic music. In our history class, they're actually writing novels in conjunction with the English teacher. This year we took advantage of a change in the schedule during our community event for this big boat race that we do, the cardboard boat race. And because 6th and 7th grade had a smoother path to create boats and participate, I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think the highest number of boats came from our division. And of course, most of the boats, the kids would have to admit, didn't go very well, but that wasn't the point.
Right, it wasn't the point at all.
We're trying to drive participation, and 6th and 7th graders are about participating. And I really think that the experience of being a Charger imbues them with this sense of like, I can change the world.
Yeah.